Oh, it's a long and winding road, but you don't have to walk alone. 'Cause no matter where we are, I will keep you in my heart, and I will think of you as I go. I'll think of you when I'm down, when my heart is on the ground, and I will never lose my way, even if the skies are gray, 'cause I will think of you when I'm down. Oh, it's a long and winding road, but you don't have to walk alone. 'Cause no matter where we are, I will keep you in my heart, and I will think of you as I go.
Teaching to me is giving someone the information they either need or that they want, whereas coaching is actually being involved with whoever you're guiding and actually allowing and giving them an opportunity to use that information or apply it in a given situation. I think also coaching is giving those that are doing the learning the encouragement they need during that time as well. Teaching is more one-sided, whereas coaching is more hands-on and very team involved, as opposed to the just standing up there and instructing. It's getting together and working towards a common goal.
Oh, it's a long and winding road, but you don't have to walk alone. 'Cause no matter where we are, I will keep you in my heart, and I will think of you. Yes, I will think
My
of
tips for being a good coach during phase 1 would, first of all, just be flexible. You're gonna have technical difficulties or some students saying they're just gonna be very busy, and it's gonna be hard to make sure that you have everyone in on one hangout. So I think the more flexible you can be, the better. One way you can do this that I thought worked really well last year was actually at the beginning of the week offering 2 or 3 times this week, say this is going to be the times that I will be on Google Hangout, join at least one if you can. And when I did that, the students were able to see at the beginning of the week when the times were going to be, and they were able to plan accordingly. Whereas when I first started doing the Google Hangouts, I was like, what time would work best for you? And you won't always get a response. So I found that when you set the times and allow them to plan around that was, it worked out really well. Another tip that I would have is just because they're not asking questions, don't assume that they understand the assignments. You are going to have a lot of nerves in phase 1, not only yourself, but the students as well, obviously. So what I like to do is I would, if they hadn't started the assignments or mentioned any questions or anything, at least by Friday, I would just send out a message saying, do you understand the assignments? And then I would, even if they didn't respond yet, I would re-explain the assignment in just a different way, or I would just give them another example or something in the message. And I found that really either helped them to ask questions or even it gave them an opportunity to see another example so that they did do their assignments. And I found that really helped the participation as well. So if you are having a hard time with participation, I think reaching out to each student individually really helps them, because sometimes they're even just too scared to go in front of the group, I found. Another tip that I would have that I learned during phase 3 that I wish I would have known during phase 1 is planning activities that you're going to do on the Google Hangouts beforehand and letting them know. For example, in phase 3, one of the activities we were going to do on the Google Hangouts was bring your best knock-knock jokes. And so at the beginning of the week I said, okay, this week we're going to put out our best knock-knock jokes, so make sure you have a couple prepared. And so they went online and found some knock-knock jokes so that when we did have the Google Hangouts, they were excited for them, they knew what to expect, and I think that calmed the nerves as well for them. Knowing what they're going to be speaking about gave them time to actually look for something, and it was a lot of fun. And so I think having activities planned, like maybe even this week we're going to talk about our families, so maybe even have a family member in the Google Hangout with you. I think just planning what you're going to talk about really will also help with the participation in the Google Hangouts, because sometimes they're just nervous, they don't know what to expect. So giving them that information beforehand really, I think, helps them be more comfortable in the Google Hangouts, especially during phase 1 when the nerves are high. But yeah.
Think of you as I go, so when I leave, you're not alone. And no matter where we are, we will never be that far, 'cause I will think of you
Your
as
coaching
I go.
in phase 1 affects your, basically the whole classroom dynamic in phase 2 immensely. Phase 1 is built around getting to know each other, so if you're basically doing phase 1 right, you're gonna know things about your students. You're gonna know if they play sports, if they like to read. You're gonna know their favorite music. So when you're in phase 2, you can use these things for your advantage. Like for assemblies, you can help say, I know you like this song. Do you want to do a skit around this song? It really helps the brainstorming in phase 2 if you really get to know each other in phase 1, because you already know some of their talents, some of their favorite movies, and so you're really able to use that in phase 2. Also, phase 1, it's really to see where your students are at as well, as far as their English level. If you can see based on their assignments or how comfortable they are in the Google Hangouts, and if you notice these things in phase 1, you're able to adapt to that in phase 2, and you can say, so-and-so I can tell isn't so comfortable about speaking in front of the group. However, they love writing on the board. You could see their talents on that, and so you're able to work around that. Like last year, I had a couple students who were very artistic, but they were a little bit more shy, so they helped make us a banner for our team. And so really seeing the comfortable levels, the comfortability levels that your students have in phase 1 just help you. It really helps you in phase 2 because you're able to work around that. You already know where your team's at, and you can move on from there instead of having to basically start right there and go, okay, this person isn't talking so much. Is it just because they're shy, or is it just because they're tired? You'll already know their personalities pretty well by phase 2. So I think just taking time in phase 1 during the Google Hangouts to really ask questions and get to know them, and like I said before, planning activities like, say, this week we're going to talk about our favorite movies, and so then they can come and talk about their favorite movies, just really getting to know them, so that way you can use those things as your advantage basically to help brainstorm and everything during phase 2. So yeah.